Tennessee Titans fans, I talked more in depth about this on Monday on my podcast. You can go listen to that now on the channel. I had blood drawn yesterday, and that bruise is from that, so don't panic. Don't worry about it. But I talked about what the Titans should do in the second round of the draft. We've talked a bunch about the first round. Seems like there may be a certain direction that we're heading there. So what about the second round? Assuming the first round goes like we think it will, what about the second round, and who would you consider to be a home run for the Titans at number 35? Now, before I get into some of these names, I will say I tend to lean more toward wide receiver in the second round, just because if you're taking Cam Ward at number 1 overall, I want him to be in as good a position as possible. I look at what they've done on the offensive line. So you're helping him protection-wise, but we need weapons. We have Calvin Ridley, and that's fine, but I want some weapons for Cam Ward to be able to throw to. So I tend to lean more toward wide receiver with the second round pick. But with that being said, there are some edge rushers, and we know how important of a position edge rush is, that if they are there at 35, I would be inclined to take them. And you also have the option of trading back, which we can talk about as well. The first one that you will see there, wide receiver Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State. Now, if he is there at 35, yes, run to the podium and select him to be a Tennessee Titan, absolutely. My thing is, I just don't think he's going to be there. I don't think Emeka Egbuka is going to be there at pick 35. I honestly think he's going to go in the first round, in the mid to late first round. I just don't see a way that Emeka Egbuka is still there at 35. But if he is, yeah, slam dunk, home run to that podium and draft him if you know what's good for you. But there are some other guys like that at 2, and I'm gonna talk about some edge rushers as well, such as this guy, James Pierce. I know there are a lot of Tennessee Volunteer fans out there that are also fans of the Tennessee Titans, and you want some of those Vols to become Titans. This is another guy that I think if he's there at 35, you run to the podium and you draft him. I know I said I lean a little bit more toward wide receiver than edge with the second round pick, but this is a guy right here that, first of all, I'm not convinced is going to make it to pick 35. I honestly would be surprised. I think James Pierce will still end up going in the first round. But another option where if he is there at 35, I think you have to run to the podium and draft James Pierce to come be an edge rusher for you. I know, wide receiver, we all want that help for Cam Ward. But if this guy's there, I think that would be a grand slam. Now, as far as other edge rushers, Landon Jackson from Arkansas, I really like this guy. If he's there at 35, I wouldn't mind the Titans taking him either. Maybe it's my SEC bias, but I really, really like Landon Jackson as an option for the Titans at edge rusher. Some of those guys you could just tell, like, he's got that dog in him. You know what I'm saying? He's got that madman, dog. I mean, I see, like, I don't even want to say it. I was going to say TJ Watt, but I don't want to jinx it. But I really like this guy. He's good against the run as well. I like Landon Jackson as an option at 35. Let's talk about some more wide receivers. This guy right here, Elik Iomanor, I'm probably butchering his name, but from Stanford, I really like him a lot. Easton Freeze from A to Z Sports is a big fan of this guy as well, with potentially being drafted at 35. I do think he will be there. I like him. I like when you watch his tape, he's very versatile. I think he could be effective, and I would not complain at all if the Titans drafted him with the 35th pick. Really a big fan of him. There's a lot of wide receivers that I would be fine with at 35, but I would put him third, the third wide receiver that I would like the most behind Emeka Egbuka, and this guy, Luther Burden. To me, this is my best case scenario for the Titans at 35. If Luther Burden is there, you don't run to the podium to draft him. You sprint. You get down in a runner's stance and you sprint to the podium to draft Luther Burden. And there's a lot of mock drafts that have the Titans taking Luther Burden. Once again, just like with Egbuka and James Pierce, I don't think Luther Burden is still going to be there. I think he'll end up going in the first round. But if he's there, I will be over the moon. This is my personal best case scenario. is Cam Ward, number 1 overall, and then Luther Burden in the second round. That to me is best case scenario because this is the guy I want the most. I'm a big fan of this guy. So if you can get him I don't think he's going to be there, but we'll see. Jaden Higgins from Iowa State. This is another guy some people have compared a little bit to A.J. Brown. He's got size. He's got strength. He's fast. Wouldn't mind this, although I think, according to a lot of mock drafts, 35 would be a little bit of a reach for this guy. Most mock drafts have him going a little later in the second round. Maybe even some have him going in the third. But, I mean, this is a guy that if the Titans were to somehow end up with Jaden Higgins, I would be thrilled. I would be absolutely thrilled. But we don't have a third-round pick. Trey Harris from Ole Miss. Some people like him. I like Trey Harris. I do. There's a part of me that wants to see if we can strike, if lightning can strike twice with the Ole Miss thing, because we had A.J. Brown, and now can Trey Harris come in from Ole Miss and kind of repeat that? So I would be fine with that. There's a host of wide receivers that I think I would be fine with. Trey Harris, not as much of a reach at 35 as Jaden Higgins would be. So I'm intrigued. A little smaller, but that's fine too. And I put another edge rusher on here, Donovan Ezeroku. That's a name that intrigues me at edge rush as well. I think he's a guy who will be there for the Titans at 35 if they want him. I like him. I hope I'm saying his last name correctly, but I like him as an option at edge rush. He's a beast as well. Pretty much, if you're the Titans and you draft Cam Ward first overall, if you go edge rush or wide receiver in the second round, I'm going to be fine with it. If you go wide receiver or edge rush in the second round, I'm good with it because that's the next biggest need after quarterback. And I will also say this. My top 3 are Luther Burden, Emeka Egbuka, and James Pierce. I don't think any of those 3 are still going to be there at 35. But if they are, that is an absolute slam dunk home run for the Titans. I'm using basketball and baseball references. As far as trading down, listen, those 3 that I just said, Burden, Egbuka, and Pierce, those are 3 guys that I would not trade down. I would just stick and pick and not worry about trading back because those guys are too valuable. But if you're talking about Landon Jackson, if you're talking about Donovan Ezeroku, if you're talking about Trey Harris, if you're talking about Jaden Higgins or somebody like that, if that's who you're planning on picking, you could be talked into the fact that it would be better off to just trade back and try to get that third round pick back. That would be great for the Titans that they lost in the L'Jarius Sneed trade. But, I mean, trading back, that is intriguing. Doesn't look like they're going to do it in the first round. So if you can do it in the second round and get that third round pick back, that would be great. But there are some players that I think if they're there, it's too risky to trade back. You need to just stay there and pick them. Burden, Egbuka, Pierce, those are the 3. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's any players that I missed. Of course, there are others. Let me know what players you would like to see the Titans take at 35. Let me know what you think would be the best scenario, a trade back. One of these guys I mentioned, another scenario. Let me know. Tighten up. Bye.